Hey there, seventh grade. Let's take a look at This Week in Science, May 11th to the 15th. The subject of this week is plate boundaries. Be looking about tectonic plates and about geologic features is there to suggest the evidence of plate boundaries. Because plate boundaries is a claim, the evidence are the geologic features. We'll be taking a look at those this week in science. Starts off over here with the slideshow that I put together for you. We'll be taking a closer look at this slideshow later. But let's just remember the whole big picture of what we're doing over here is with plate tectonics is explaining this whole heat engine that actually causes. All right, because hot rock is rising. Okay, everything happens, and all these features on planet Earth can be summed up based on the whole concept of plate tectonic theory. It takes continental drift and seafloor spreading, and it puts it to a whole other realm. Because then we talk about all these other evidences: earthquakes, volcanoes, uh, uh, transformed fault boundaries, and it explains everything, why we have tsunamis. All of this is all summed up based on this whole idea about plate convergence. Okay, but in this case, two plates converging and colliding with each other, and what happens when they do. Okay, so the whole process of what is called subduction. And when that oceanic plate goes into the Earth's mantle, it melts, and then all that heat pressure comes up. You end up getting metamorphic rock, by the way, formed in this process as well. But then we end up getting volcanoes. Either the volcanoes are in the ocean or they're on the continent. But whatever it is, subduction of plates causes volcanism. And that's something we're going to be seeing over and over again in this week in science. All right, so I have some assignments over here to back this all up with. Right, so first of all, we got our plate motion slideshow. I want you to do this on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we've got the CK12. You may have already started the CK12 since you were waiting for me to get this up and running our screencasts. All right, so the CK12, I have two self assessments. One of them is on transform boundaries, and the other one is called mountain building. Right, and then we've got three Plix assignments. Those never take long. Hopefully, it's called play, learn, interact, and explore. Hopefully, they don't take you too long. And then the quiz on plate boundaries, which is the thing that I'm trying to differentiate to make sure that you're learning the material. Watching the slideshow and do success on that quiz are correlated. There's a straight, direct correlation of the slideshow to the CK12 lessons. The third thing to do, the Wednesday assignment, is going to be found in the STEMscope app. I decided to give you guys just one thing on the STEMscope, and it's 4 different videos that I found off STEMscope with the questions that go with it. I'm trying to limit. Oh, by the way, I did turn on the auto grade for last week's in science. So remember, last week in science with theory of plate tectonics, we'll be going through all that in class on Tuesday. All right. So when I see you guys on Tuesday, we'll talk about that. All right. So we've got 4 assignments on the STEMscope app, 2 content connection videos, and 2 Science Today videos. That is found on the STEMscope app and the STEMscope app only. It's the only thing I'm giving you from STEMscope this week because I gave you a lot of CK12. Now, lastly, it's hard not to talk about Mount Everest and how Mount Everest is basically still growing. All right, so I found a few assignments on that concept. One is just basically talk about Mount Everest itself. There's another assignment called Hotspots that goes with it. And there's a review and reinforce grid. Now, when we do this assignment here, when we're doing this, notice I want you to once again make a copy of this presentation. Well, I called it doc, but make a copy of it. Answer the question with red font, please. I even started it over here with your red font. I wrote that down every single time in red just to remind you. It's way easier for me to read. Now, when you're doing this part over here, I wrote down a cut and paste an image. So I would write down, maybe here, make this really easy on yourself. You can I can copy that, right? And I can paste and I can get a Google image and then I can insert right there a oceanic continental convergence. And then explain what features would I see. All right. So an oceanic continental convergence, if I get that, I should end up with island arc volcanoes. Island arc. Now, remember that I definitely want to make that a different color. Therefore, Mr. Chima knows, nice and simple. The fact is that you know what we're doing over here. So oceanic, continental convert. Oh, that's not right. It's not island arc. It's a continental arc. There we go. Let's fix that. Continental arc. Okay, volcanoes. What else would I see? Oh, you know what else I'm going to see? A trench. There should be a trench. We're at the on the subduction zone. At the subduction zone. All right. So I want to write down all the stuff that I need to know. Now, kids, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this to make sure this one way I know you're actually writing this. All right. Because you here, I just gave you this. Make sure you can read it. I'll make it bold. I'll make it bigger. There we go. I'll fill up the space. Now remember, I'm going to cut and paste an image over here, and then a real world example. A real world example where this is happening is the Cascades up in like Oregon or Washington, or if you down in South America, you got the Andes. Okay, the Andes mountain range. I guess I could spell Cascades wrong. Fortunately, I can come over here. Well, that's all right. We'll figure that out later. All right, so there's two different ones. Once again, I'll make that red, make it easy for Mr. Chima to read, and we can make it big, big, big. Now I can see why I misspelled Cascades. I forgot the D. Cascades. Okay, the Cascades. Still spelled whatever. All right, Southern Washington, like Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, is that area up there. Even Mount Shasta is a part of the Cascades as well. All right, kids. I hope this. Oh, we got one more thing. Let's see. Let me delete this. I don't want to make it too easy on anybody. You guys now have some freebies because you were watching this. You have an idea what to do. Right? Let's hope that nobody asks me, how am I supposed to do this? Okay, then you got some questions. Over here, you can do one word answers, except for number 8. Wait, number 9. Except number 9, yeah, I want you to write a paragraph for number 9. All right, one paragraph. Okay, everything else is one word answers or very simple answers. All right, you don't need a sentence, just get the right answer.